Now that we have our 3D object placed in the scene, we're going to be doing all kinds of things like transforming it and animating it and scaling it. We're going to be working with cameras and all sorts of things. But before we do, it's going to be really important for us to customize our workspace because there's a lot of windows that we're really going to need to see in order to make this happen. So we're going to very quickly take a look at all the different customizations that you'll want to do so that you're not fighting to find everything that you need to. So again, we said that we're in the timeline view. Currently, our window is open to the stage view, and we'll talk a lot about the stage view as we go on, but the stage view is mostly going to be used for placement. It's like a big glass table that you can move all around, and you can set up everything. You can see where everything belongs. But any movement that you do, like this transforming that I'm doing, is just a view. And later on, we'll see how to actually move the object, but currently we're just moving the view. So that is the stage view, but we also want to add another view, which is called the camera view, so we can actually see what the scene's going to look like through the eye of the camera. So to do that, or to add any new kind of tab to these various windows, you're going to click on this downward arrow, and you've got a choice of all kinds of different tabs that you can add now. So we're looking for the one that says camera view. So click on camera view, and now you're seeing exactly what the camera is seeing, because we haven't changed anything yet. The stage view, we're just looking at a different angle. It's sort of as if I'm walking around the ship, but I haven't moved the ship. So think of that as the stage view, like you've planted the ship on a stage and you're walking around. All right, so there's two other views that are going to be really helpful to us. For moving an object in 3D space, you're going to need to see it in more than one window at a time. So we're also going to look at the side view and open up a view called top view. So now I can come over here to my side panel where I have all these other palettes, and I can also get rid of them if they're cluttering up the space. So for example, Storyboard, this is a place where you would store your script. I'm going to hit the X and get rid of that. Now, even though I deleted the Storyboard tab, it's not really missing. I can bring it back anytime by hitting the arrow key and bringing it back up. So let me hit the arrow key and scroll down here to where I see Storyboard. I'll click on that, and you can see that it's back, and any information that was in there has returned too. So I'm going to, again, just get rid of that for now, and I'm going to add a new view, which the first one I'm going to look at is the top view. So I'm going to click on that, and now I have a view from the top. I'm directly above the object that I have imported. I'm looking straight down on the stage. So if we look at the camera moves, nothing has changed in the camera view. And what this top view represents is this part of the triangle at the base with the dot. That's where our camera is, and we are looking. This triangle represents our field of vision, and the 3D model as we're looking directly down at the ship. So now that I'm looking directly downward at the ship, I can show you the effect that this will have. Again, we'll show you how to use these transforming tools in a little bit, but I'm going to switch to the stage view so we can really get a good look. As I drag the ship back toward the camera and then away from the camera in this top view, it's like I'm a giant playing with a toy boat down at my feet. You can really see how it moves by and how useful it is to have this top view. But at the same time, within this top view, I'm not able to lift it up or bring it down in space. I can't move in this direction. I can't control what's known as the y-axis. So that's why we have another view, which is called the side view. So I'm going to move this over a little bit, and I'm going to add the side view by using the same technique. I'm going to click on that downward arrow, find the one that says side view, and now I have a view from the side And let me slide everything back over. And now you'll be able to see with this side view that I'm going to be able to lift up the boat in the y-axis. So I can move the ship in this view in the up and down axis and in the forward and back axis, but I can't move it in this case in the side to side axis. It's not really letting me do that. So that's why we need a combination of views. And something else I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little downward tab to give me some more room. And while I've done that, by the way, I can bring that back anytime by clicking on the upward arrow. And over here, you can pull out any one of these tabs so that you can rearrange it or keep it separate. What I prefer to do is drag it over here so that I have a new panel. So now I can really see what's going on. This is my favorite kind of setup, where now as I move the ship, I can see it moving in all different directions. I can control it. I have 3 different opportunities to control it. Now, even with all these views, the stage view, which again is the one that allows us to sort of walk around the model without actually altering the position of the model. You'll notice that these others don't move when I'm in the stage view and rotating with the free rotate tool. As we'll see, that's activated by hitting Control Shift and panning around. That's Command Shift if you're using a Mac. But anyway, there's still this camera view. This is very important because we have to know what we're going to be actually seeing on the screen. Now, you can't have too many windows open without it cluttering up your screen. So what I like to do is go down here. I'm going to pop my thumbnails, these timeline thumbnails, back up, but I'm going to show one other thing, which is this downward arrow. I'm going to add something to this too. I'm going to add thumbnails to this and move it back. The benefit of showing the thumbnails at the bottom is that the thumbnails will always display the camera view. If you want to see a scene and very clearly see how it's laid out on the stage view, you can see it at the exact same time in the camera view if you choose to have your thumbnails down there. Otherwise, you could just simply click back and forth between the stage view and the camera view. A couple additional things about setting up your workspace is there are these new toolbars in Storyboard Pro 3D that are collapsible, when you can now not only move your toolbars around, but you can also collapse them. You can see it expands when I click on the arrows, but if I want to expand it more, I can drag these over. So that gives you a lot of flexibility. For example, this is the playback toolbar, and we're not going to be using this until we get to animation and camera moves. So I can just sort of cover it up by sliding over it. So that's very helpful. But finally, the main thing is after you've done all this work to customize your workspace, you may want to save it. And I highly recommend that you do that. So if you go to Windows and then Workspace, and then you can click Save Workspace As, and you can give it any name that you want to. You can call it 3D Workspace, 3D Workshop, let's call it that, because it's a very distinct name. And you can click OK. And now, for example, if you click away or you need to see a different view, so I'm switching to a completely different view now, like the thumbnail view. So now I have a completely different view, but if I want to go back to the workspace that I had already set up, I can just go to Windows, Workspace, and under Workspaces, I can click the one that we just created, 3D Workshop, and it's going to restore everything back to the way that it was before, so that I'll always have this workspace, and then you won't have to go through all that customization again.